Seeds of Greatness. Long ago, in the rolling valleys of ancient China, there was a small village named Pingxi, surrounded by mountains that looked like sleeping dragons. In this quiet place lived a young man named Li Wei, the son of a humble farmer. His hands were rough from work, and his dreams were buried under the same soil he tilled each day. But deep inside him, something greater stirred, a seed that had yet to bloom. Every morning, before the first rooster crowed, Li Wei followed his father into the fields. Together they planted rice, tended the oxen, and mended the irrigation ditches. Their land was small and dry, the harvest barely enough to survive. Yet his father always said, "Even the smallest seed can grow into a mighty tree if only you care for it long enough." Li Wei nodded, but often felt restless. He would look toward the mountains and wonder if there was more to life than farming the same patch of earth. One evening, after the day's work was done, an old traveler came through the village. His clothes were dusty, and his hair white as frost. The villagers invited him to rest at the tea house, where Li Wei served him a bowl of rice. The old man smiled warmly and said, "You have kind eyes, young one. Tell me, what do you wish for most in this world?" Li Wei hesitated. "To live a better life, one that matters. But I am only a farmer's son. Greatness is not for people like me." The old traveler chuckled softly. "Greatness does not choose the rich or the powerful, boy. It grows only where the soil of patience and faith is strong." Before he left the next morning, he pressed a small cloth pouch into Li Wei's hands. "Inside are 3 special seeds," he said. "Plant them carefully. They will test you, but if you care for them with heart, they will reveal your destiny." And just like that, the traveler vanished into the misty road beyond the mountains. Li Wei hurried home and showed the pouch to his father. Inside were 3 small brown seeds, plain and ordinary. His father examined them and smiled. "All life begins small, my son. Perhaps this is heaven's way of teaching your patience." Together, they planted the seeds near the edge of their field, where the soil was hard and dry. Every morning, Li Wei watered them. Every night, he checked for signs of growth. Days turned into weeks, and still nothing came up. The neighbors laughed. "You've been tricked, Li Wei. Those seeds are worthless." Li Wei tried to ignore them, but doubt began to creep in. "Maybe they are right," he whispered one evening. "Maybe these seeds will never grow." His father placed a firm hand on his shoulder. "Do you remember what I always tell you?" Li Wei nodded. "The smallest seed can grow into a mighty tree, if only you care for it long enough." "Good," his father said. "Then keep watering." Seasons changed. Spring became summer, and summer turned to autumn. The fields were golden with rice, yet the small patch where Li Wei had planted the seeds remained bare. One night, a fierce storm swept through the valley. The winds tore through the village, and rain flooded the fields. When Li Wei ran out in the morning, he saw that his crops were destroyed. His heart sank. The little patch of earth where he'd planted the seeds was covered in mud and stones. For a moment, he wanted to give up. But then he remembered the traveler's words. "They will test you." He knelt in the rain and cleared the mud with his bare hands, one handful at a time. For 3 days, he worked to restore the small plot. His father watched silently from the house, knowing that something inside his son had changed. A quiet fire that could not be drowned by failure. Weeks later, just as winter approached, Li Wei noticed something miraculous. 3 tiny shoots had broken through the soil. He laughed and shouted so loudly that the neighbors thought he'd gone mad. "They've grown. They're alive." His father came running and smiled through tears. "You see, my son? The seeds were not dead. They were only waiting for the right season to rise." Li Wei cared for the plants as if they were his own children. He watered them daily, shielded them from frost, and pulled weeds by hand. Months turned into years. The first plant grew into a strong green bamboo, the second into a tea bush, and the third into a small tree with golden blossoms. One day, the old traveler returned to the village, now walking with a cane. Li Wei, taller and wiser, recognized him at once and bowed deeply. "Master," he said, "the seeds you gave me have grown, But why did they take so long? The traveler smiled. Because greatness never grows quickly. The bamboo spent years growing roots before rising from the ground. Without strong roots, it would have fallen at the first wind. The tea bush taught you patience, because its leaves become valuable only after careful tending. And that tree with golden flowers, that one teaches you that beauty comes not from wealth but from care. Li Wei looked at his plants with new eyes. The bamboo swayed gracefully in the breeze. The tea bush shimmered in the sunlight. The golden blossoms filled the air with a fragrance so sweet that even the bees danced joyfully. "Master," Li Wei said, "I understand now. These are the seeds of greatness." The traveler nodded. "Yes, but not because of what they became, because of what they made you become." Years passed, and Li Wei's reputation spread beyond the village. His tea was said to have the fragrance of spring rain, and travelers from far provinces came to taste it. When he sold his harvest at the market, he used the money to help rebuild the village's school and dig a new well so no one would go thirsty again. The people who once mocked him now called him Master Li Wei, the farmer with the heart of a sage. But Li Wei remained humble. "I am only a man who learned to wait," he said. One day, news arrived that the emperor himself was seeking wise men to serve in his court. The governor of the province, having heard of Li Wei's reputation for fairness and wisdom, invited him to present himself before the throne in the capital. At first, Li Wei refused. "I am not worthy," he said. "I am just a farmer." But the governor insisted. "The empire needs men who understand the patience of the earth and the strength of bamboo." So Li Wei traveled for many days, carrying with him 3 gifts: a bamboo staff, a pouch of dried tea leaves, and a garland of golden flowers. When he stood before the emperor, he knelt and said, "Your Majesty, I have brought nothing of gold or jade, only these gifts from the soil, symbols of what the land can teach." The emperor examined them curiously. "What do they represent?" "The bamboo," said Li Wei, "teaches humility. It bends but never breaks. The tea bush teaches peace, for its leaves bring calm to those who drink it. And the golden flowers remind us that beauty comes from patience." The emperor smiled. "You speak with the wisdom of the ancients. Tell me your name." "I am Li Wei of Pingxi, son of a farmer." "Then, Li Wei," the emperor said, "you shall serve as my counselor on matters of the people and the land." Li Wei bowed deeply, tears shining in his eyes. His father's words echoed in his heart. Even the smallest seed can grow into a mighty tree. Years later, when Li Wei had grown old, he returned to his village. The fields were lush, and the children played where he had once labored. The bamboo still stood tall, whispering in the wind. The tea bush flourished, and the golden-flowered tree bloomed each spring without fail. One afternoon, a young boy from the village came running up to him. "Master Li Wei," he asked, "how did you become so great?" Li Wei smiled gently and handed the boy a single seed. "I was never great, little one. I only learned that greatness begins with small things, like this." The boy stared at the seed in awe. "But what should I do with it?" "Plant it," Li Wei said. "Water it. Wait for it. And when nothing happens, keep believing. Because inside that seed lies a world you cannot yet see." The boy bowed and ran off, clutching the seed as if it were treasure. Li Wei watched him go, the corners of his mouth curving into a peaceful smile. The sun dipped low behind the mountains, casting long golden shadows over the fields. As the wind rustled the bamboo leaves, it seemed to whisper the same truth that had guided him all his life. Within every heart lies a seed of greatness. It may sleep through many seasons, but when tended with faith, it will one day rise, reaching toward the heavens, unshaken by time. And there, beneath the sky of ancient China, surrounded by the harvest of his patience, Li Wei, the farmer who once thought himself small, became part of the timeless story of those who believed in the power of small beginnings. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, hit like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment below. I'll see you in the next video.